Pleasure to sit here with the general manager of the Chicago Wolves and good friend Wendell Young. And what are summer you have had in this 30th year? First and foremost, it is a great anniversary for the Chicago Wolves themselves, 30 years. But this summer is a little bit different as a GM for the team because there is no parent team anymore. How's it going?
Well, 30 years is special, that's for sure. And the 30th summer, I guess, is quite special for the organization. It's a little different. Not having an affiliate, not having players coming down. One of the good things, I didn't have to guess who was coming to the team from the parent team. I could actually build a team from there. But it's been busy. It's been crazy. Trying to contact every agent, or every agent contacted me. I've probably talked to every agent that's in the business multiple times and about multiple players. So, but it's been fun putting a team together this way, and it's an interesting thing. I've learned a lot of things, calling the agents, and my opening line is, I don't have an NHL contract, I don't have an NHL camp, I don't have a rookie camp, I don't have a prospect camp. Which one of your clients, which of your clients would be interested in an American Hockey League deal? And to my surprise, and I guess to our benefit, a lot of players were interested in that fact that we weren't affiliate.
True. Can you believe it's half of your life you've been with the Chicago Wolves?
It's crazy. I was thinking back, and people always say, it's the 30th anniversary of the Wolves, or some anniversary of one of the championships. And I'm like, no way, it can't be that long. And that's what I said. A couple of years ago, I had to go to a 60th birthday surprise party. I go, I don't know anybody that's 60. Here I am sitting 60. But it's a strange thing, but it's a great thing for our organization that we've, in this market, the way that things have gone. The economy's gone at different times. Everything that's going on, the sports, the way sports are, and for us to be where we're at, it's quite an accomplishment for our organization, and still be seen in high regard in hockey. Sure. and the sports world.
I want to ask you this question, and I read social media, you see all sorts of different situations, people wondering about the Wolves. Can you and I know you've done this recently a lot, but can you kind of tell the reason why this kind of took place and the situation that you're in? Well,
I guess the first thing, the major thing is in our affiliation agreement, it reads develop and try to win a Calder Cup. I think it fell short last year. We won the Calder Cup the year before, and then everything seemed to change. I believe the philosophy had changed, not within our organization. So we really basically couldn't work under those conditions. Those weren't the terms we signed up for. All our affiliations were up front. We will develop your players, but we also want to win, and winning is getting good, solid guys to play around, and possibly bring guys in that can be called up. I've cited St. Louis winning the Stanley Cup, and you look at the amount of players that played for the Chicago Wolves that won a Stanley Cup in St. Louis, and then you look at the Vegas Golden Knights winning a Stanley Cup and the amount of players. So there's a false narrative out there that the Chicago Wolves are all about winning. Our proudest time is when a guy gets called up and doesn't come back because he stays in the NHL, and we take a lot of pride in that. We won a Calder Cup a few years ago, and the amount of guys that left and got chances in the NHL or bigger contracts that could set their life up, we were excited. Every time, it was disappointing. I want all those guys back because to try to repeat, but the nature of the business. But we're excited for when guys excel sports-wise and financially for what they do. So there was a change of philosophy. I don't think we put the best team on the ice that we knew we could. So it had to come to a reckoning, and we were at the last year of our affiliation, and try to work things out. It didn't happen. The NHL came in. I spent a lot of time with Bill Daly, Deputy Commissioner of the NHL, and spent a lot of time with him, and we just couldn't work something out. And it's disappointing because the whole thing about the American League and the NHL, there's a really close relationship. I think it's 21 teams in our league are owned by NHL teams. So there's a lot of crossover, a lot of interest in that way, and it got to a point where it was, I guess it's not good for anybody, but it had to happen. That it should be 32 teams in the NHL and 32 teams in the American Hockey League. And first time in 30 years, a team in the American Hockey League is an independent team, and tough circumstances, again, making those calls to the agents, but also 30 years ago, there wasn't the development rule where we only had 5 vets and 1 vet exempt. And I could put together one hell of a team if I could just sign all the vets. And I actually feel that we have an older team. I think we have 5 or 6 guys that are 30 and over, and and then I'm talking to, they've got kids, because most of the guys that come here are so young, they don't have kids or anything, not married, and now they got to get the kids in school. And I feel like I'm back in the old days sometimes, because we get the 30 and over club happening.
Yeah, it is amazing. And it is kind of funny going back to the roots, really, of this team when it did start in the International Hockey League, when you were still playing. And, the one thing, the numbers of players that have gone through the Chicago Wolves and wore a sweater, it's amazing, that are in the National Hockey League or have been in the National Hockey League. After the win a couple of years ago, 4, 5, 6 guys played in the NHL. So it just shows you how good the organization is at developing players.
No, 100%. And that's the whole thing. I think, again, a false narrative that where we're not interested in developing. We think when players develop, our team's going to be better. And if they develop during the year and they're put around good people and learn how to win and how to be a pro, and then when come playoff time, you can take a run for the Calder Cup with that combination. And I think it's we've been around long enough. We know the rules. There is a sense of entitlement, and there is an entitlement given the first rounders, second rounders, prospects or whatever. And the players know it too. It's like, certain guys got to be on the power play at certain times, and you got to give them the chance, and then work them into where they're supposed to be, because they are first rounders and second rounders for a reason. There's potential there, and you got to kind of work with that, massage that, and get them to where they're at. But they also need quality players around them that can show them the way. Jack Drury might not be in the NHL right now without the guys he played with and he learned from over the year to make the he's an NHLer, but I think he got there a lot quicker because of the people that he had around him.
We have a lot more conversation with Wendell coming up, but first of all, let's go back now to Chicago Wolves hockey.